What if everything we've been taught about ancient Greece is a lie? Have you ever wondered how superficial our approach to ancient Greek mythology really is? Have you ever considered that maybe we have a completely misguided idea of what we now call ancient Greek religion? Do you believe that the ancient Greeks, being so enlightened, so vibrantly elevated, beings upon which all modern civilization is based, such as Plato, Aristotle, Socrates, and countless others, were so naive as to believe in stories about monsters and infidelities among gods? Even the modern image we have of philosophers is mistaken. The image we form when we talk about a philosopher today is that of an academic who does nothing but think and tries to convince us of his theories. But the ancient Greek philosophers were far from this image. They were not just philosophers, which means lovers of wisdom, but also polymaths. They were doctors and biologists, physicists and inventors, astronomers and engineers. They were chemists, mathematicians, meteorologists, historians, and cosmologists. They were geographers and sociologists, scholars of every science, and at the same time artists, musicians, poets, even fearless warriors. How many of you know that Socrates, for example, not only fought in the Peloponnesian Wars, but also distinguished himself for his bravery? These brilliant minds that interacted with each other knew very well what lies behind mythology. They knew that mythology was a psychological manual on how to navigate life and a cosmic copy of a collective memory and archetypes. Ancient memories coming from the depths of human existence. Another major misconception we make today is speaking of an ancient Greek religion. Why? Because quite simply, no such religion ever existed. There wasn't even a concept of religion for the ancient Greeks. And the reason? Because the ancient Greeks did not believe in any kind of dogma. In fact, they were fundamentally opposed to all forms of dogma. In their worldview, the very idea of dogma simply did not exist. That is precisely why their spirit flourished. For them, there was no single sacred book, like the Bible or the Quran, meant to be followed blindly or without question. What we call ancient Greek religion today should more accurately be called ancient Greek cosmogony or mystagogy, because that's what it truly was. A mystagogy, not only about the mysteries and energies of our world, but of the entire universe. A sacred initiation with a purpose. First, to teach how a soul can develop its spirituality. Second, how a soul can be guided towards its own eudaimonia, its true well-being.
Third, how a soul can make real contact with the divine. And finally, how a soul can discover the path that leads to its deification. In simple terms, the purpose of ancient Greek mystagogy, and not religion, is to lead us to inner freedom, to awakening, to awaken us, because the awakened person is the truly free person. You can't control them. You can't guide them. You can't manipulate them because they are not controlled by fear. Today, right now as we speak, a new spiritual awakening is taking place in Greece. People from different fields, not just philologists and linguists, but also scientists with entirely different scientific backgrounds, are once again studying the ancient Greek texts. These precious treasures, this inexhaustible source of knowledge, and what they are discovering is truly leaving us speechless. Are you ready to be a part of this new spiritual awakening? Are you ready to dive into the ancient truths that have been buried for centuries? Then join us. Because the ancestral knowledge we will share with you won't just change the way you see the world or transform your life, it will awaken your soul. Together, on this channel, we'll re-examine everything we've been taught, and most importantly, what has been hidden from us.